President Muhammadu Buhari warns politicians and politicizing schoolgirls' abductions. NEMA receives more returnees from Libya. Arts and crafts identified as tools for gainful employment. Welcome to the news at this time on television Nigerian. I am Cynthia Agbo. President Muhammadu Buhari has warned politicians against politicizing abduction of schoolgirls in the country, saying security agencies will deal severely with people making political gains out of the situation. The president gave the warning while receiving 105 schoolgirls and 2 primary school pupils from Dapchi, Yobe State at the presidential villa on Friday, where he further stated that any security chief that allows lapses in his job would be dealt with. President Buhari promised to give unconditional amnesty to any Boko Haram insurgent that lays down arms and embraces peace, while affirming that Boko Haram insurgent released the Dapchi schoolgirls last Wednesday unconditionally after painstaking back-channel negotiations. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has received 149 Nigerians who voluntarily returned from Libya. The returnees arrived at Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, aboard a chartered flight operated by Burak Airline. The returnees comprise of 107 male adults, 37 female adults, including a medical case, 4 female children and 1 female infant. The returnees were also received by officials of the Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, and the Nigerian Police. The importance of improving agricultural productivity and enhance quality of life in the rural localities across the country has been emphasized, as well as the roles of traditional rulers in citizens' mobilization. Let's find out more in this next report.
Boosting agricultural productivity and enhancement of quality of life in rural communities can be achieved by harmonizing the traditional institutions. In this paper titled The Role and Relevance of Traditional Institutions in Citizen Mobilization, the Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Garba Abari, stressed the need of developing the value chains in agriculture.
If we want to diversify the economy, agriculture is the way to go. We must also find a way of looking at adding values through developing the value chain.
Yemi of Shunga, Haliru Yahaya, and other speakers stressed the importance of according traditional rulers their due recognition, considering their closeness to the grassroots.
And there's wanton killing across board. We have to sit down and dialogue.
Resources should be released for community development projects. That is one of our recommendations, both money and materials.
The event includes goodwill messages and interactive session. Dinah Ojua, TVN News.
After the break, arts and crafts identified as tools for gainful employment. Thanks for staying tuned. In the face of growing unemployment and its attendant negative consequences on the society, the use of inherent and acquired skills to provide meaningful engagement for the youthful population was a focus of a recent art and craft exhibition in Nigeria. The report.
These I can make 40, 50, 60,000 a day. I don't need any job.
The one-month training on skills acquisition program may have come and gone, but the aftermath is still being talked about. Over 400 Nigerian trainees participated in the 2017 edition of the program.
So you won't know you have skills till when you are exposed into this kind of things.
I feel more challenged to do even more.
These Nigerian arts ambassadors at the 19th edition of Kanagawa World Children's Art Exhibition in Japan brought recognition and economic opportunities to participants. The skills acquisition platform that led to this feat changed the lives of the beneficiary for the better.
I just drew it. I didn't think that to go so far, and went to one of the countries that I'm also very interested in.
Stakeholders and others say this new trend will serve as an extra means of income to families.
165 Nigerians which were given free skill acquisition without paying any dime. And we are happy today to see that we've been able to add value to their lives.
The government is promoting self-employment, self-reliance, and of course contributing positively to the growth and development of the economy generally.
We can use our culture, which now becomes part of tourism, to empower our people and enrich our people. I think that is a wonderful step.
For analysts, the endeavor will also open the window for employment. Charles Ibe, TVN News.
Moving on to the sports scene, as the Super Eagles of Nigeria get set to take on their Polish counterparts in an international friendly later tonight. Sources from the Radisson Blue camp in Ronkla has revealed the Eagles startup line-up for the match. Deportivo La Coruna goalkeeper Francis Uzoho and Amka Pem defender Brian Idowu will make their first start for the Super Eagles later tonight. Uzoho, who has kept 12 clean sheets this season in the third tier of the Spanish league for Deportivo La Coruna's second team, Deportivo Fabril, has got the nod ahead of Eimba of Aba goalkeeper Ikechukwu Ezenwa, who arrived in camp late for the game. Bursaspor right back Shehu Abdullahi keeps his place in the starting lineup like Leon Balogun and William Ekong in the team's central defense, while in the midfield, stand-in captain Ogeyon Nazi and Wilfred Ndidi will provide cover for the defense line. Kelechi Iheanacho will start in the number 10 role, while Odion Igalo will lead the lines to be flanked by Victor and Alex Iwobi. The friendly match billed for the Municipal Stadium in Ronkla kicks off at 8:45 p.m. Nigerian time. Heartland Football Club of Owerri have directed their technical crew led by Ransom Madu to step aside following the team's poor run of form in the Nigeria Professional Football League this season. The Naze Millionaires have struggled to make an impact since their return to the top flight football and are currently at the 18th position with 13 points from 12 games. According to a release signed by the media officer of the club, Henry Echefo, made available to CSN, the management of the club under the leadership of Good Faith Chibuzo Etumena have also directed Ezekiel Onyegulem to take charge of the team on a temporary basis. Mado's last game in charge of the Naze Millionaires was Wednesday's NPFL rescheduled match day 10 fixture against Aqua United at the Gospel Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, which ended in a 2-1 defeat. Now to the foreign scene, President Donald Trump has replaced National Security Advisor Herbert Raymond McMaster with the former UN Ambassador John Bolton, injecting a hawkish foreign policy voice into his administration ahead of key decisions on Iran and North Korea. Bolton will be Trump's third national security advisor. Trump has clashed with Herbert Raymond McMaster, a respected 3-star general, and talk that McMaster would soon leave the administration had picked up in recent weeks. In a statement released by the White House, McMaster said he would be requesting retirement from the U.S. Army effective this summer, adding that afterward he will leave public service. Bolton, a strong supporter of the Iraq War and an advocate for aggressive use of American power in foreign policy, has served in the Republican administrations of Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, and George W. Bush, and served as a Bush lawyer during the 2000 Florida recount. To end the news, a recap of the major stories. President Muhammadu Buhari warns politicians on politicizing schoolgirls' abductions. NEMA receives more returnees from Libya. Arts and crafts identified as tools for gainful employment. That's the news on television Nigerian. Before we go, I leave you with this thought. You cannot climb the ladder of success with both hands in your pocket. Thanks for staying tuned. I am Cynthia Agbo. Do have yourself a wonderful night.